Powerhouse. What you have available to you on the FFS platform is three product solutions: our protector and accumulator IUL, and our term insurance. I want to call just a couple things out. We'll talk a little more deeply about product here in a moment or two, but please know right now we have a very high minimum issue age. Symetra is not a place for your juvenile policies yet. In the fall, our accumulator will have a minimum issue age of 15 days, but right now, our minimum issue age is 20. All right. We will not accept clients under the age of 20. But our protector, accumulator, and term are very well priced. We have very low premiums for whatever the customer is looking to purchase in terms of coverage. You're going to come to Symetra when the customer wants the best possible deal on coverage, meaning, pay as little as possible for the coverage that they're purchasing. We have some key strengths, and that's what I want to hone in on here for the next several minutes. And our key strengths you can remember with three key numbers: the number four, the number three, and the number zero. We have four unique living benefits. We have terminal illness also. Well, I'm not going to talk about terminal illness because our rider is pretty standard, but I want to focus on some other benefits that make us a little unique, a couple of which are pretty significant innovations. We have three different underwriting platforms to help you do more business. So we're not having to walk away from those cases that are really hard to place in force because the client has health challenges. And we're opening up new markets with our foreign national business. Those of you who have markets outside the United States, we have an excellent underwriting program for those foreign national clients. And finally, that number zero, this has to do with our IULs specifically, because our IUL charges are very low. Uh, not to get too technical, but when we talk to customers and we explain the value of the index, how do we describe it? We tell them, that when the market's down, what happens? You don't lose, right? You're protected against market loss, and that's true. But the policy cash value does decrease. The policy cash value decreases by the fee in the policy that year. So the lower we make the fee, the lower we make that loss in the policy when the index is zero. There are some carriers with solutions that have very high fees, and those fees can really impact the client's ability to grow their wealth inside the IUL. And if we have clients that are buying an IUL for maximum wealth that they can take advantage of tax free, it's really important to consider Symetra. Because of our low fee structure, they will have great accumulation potential. We'll skip through this slide. The I want to talk now about that key number four, our four unique living benefits. So we have two chronic illness riders. One of them is built in. The other one you add if the customer wants more robust protection. Let's talk first about the rider that is built in. This is our chronic illness benefit. What makes this benefit unique is that it eliminates surprises when that client is sick. If they are unable to perform two of six activities of daily living, they can receive half of their death benefit, but no more than 500,000. So, for example, if I have $1 million policy, I'm 45 and I get into a car accident, let's say, and I'm now no longer able to dress myself and uh, walk, right? I'm in a wheelchair. Um, I'll be able to access my chronic illness benefit. And I get to select the benefit I receive. The payout is not dependent on my age. And the payout I select is exactly what I receive from Symetra. There is no reduction of benefit based on my age or life expectancy. So I have $1 million policy and I want the maximum benefit. Symetra will send me a check for $500,000. Now, this benefit is it's what's called a lean method chronic illness, which means we rather than reducing the remaining death benefit down to zero or some lower number immediately, we charge an annual fee of about 4% on the lump sum. So continuing with the example, $1 million policy, we pay the client 500,000, and then let's say the client lives for 4 years and passes away. That charge for the rider would have accumulated to about $87,000. 4% compounded, about 4% compounded over 4 years. That 87,000 is deducted from the remaining $500,000 death benefit, and the family receives $413,000 at at the clients at my passing away. Okay. Uh, every one, the insured, the family, everyone in the process understands how the rider works and what they're going to receive. There's full transparency with how the benefit operates. That's really important, we found, for policy holders. This rider, chronic illness, is built into every IUL approved standard or better, both domestic and your foreign national clients who may be living permanently overseas and traveling here to the United States to buy coverage. Okay, I'm going to pause. You have questions about how our chronic illness benefit works. You can throw them into the chat. You can unmute yourself and ask away. But is there anything about the built in lump sum chronic illness I can explain?
Okay, Nate. So this is the living benefit. This is for term and IUL, right? Or it could be
It's
different.
just for IUL.
Just
Our
for
living benefits only have terminal illness. Question. Other questions about chronic illness? Okay. So if chronic illness limits us to just half the death benefit, right? Some clients we know need more protection. They need something closer to true long-term care, and that is our chronic care advantage benefit. This is not available in California. I know some of you here on this call are likely in California. We also have no solutions in New York. So those of you in New York or you have clients in New York, unfortunately, Symetra won't be able to help them. But for everywhere else, we have this enhanced rider if you have a long-term care need. So if I get sick and I have the chronic care advantage benefit, then Symetra will pay me a cash benefit 2 or 4% of my death benefit per month until the full death benefit has been paid out. After that point, the policy doesn't lapse. Instead, there's a residual or reduced $5,000 death benefit that will help cover final expenses. But this allows the customer to receive all of their death benefit on a monthly basis, all of their death benefit in the event of that long-term healthcare need, where they can't do 2 of 6 activities of daily living. Unlike the built-in chronic benefit, we do underwrite for this rider, and there is a fee if you add it to the policy. But we have found that some clients really want enhanced long-term care like protection, and they find a lot of value in this chronic care advantage rider. We see this added to about 30% of the applications that come to Symetra. Okay. Our next living benefit. This one's a little newer and has only been approved in about 40 states. We're still waiting on a few stragglers. We do not have Critical illness here at Symetra. True critical illness in our policies. I know critical illness is a story that we tell our clients. Right now with Symetra, that's not a story you're gonna be able to tell, except for clients who are worried about cancer. If you look at claims for critical illness, the overwhelming majority are for cancer. In fact, most consumers are most worried about cancer because of the cost of ongoing care. And where our cancer rider is very different from traditional critical illness is that this rider will pay you money when you get cancer, and that money doesn't come from your death benefit. So if I have a $500,000 policy and I get cancer, Symetra will pay me $100,000 from a separate cash bucket. I still have a $500,000 policy. I still have my cash value. I still have all my other living benefits, terminal, chronic. I still have my all my other living benefits that can be used in the future. And this rider isn't just cash. When the client turns 50, they will receive access to a blood test that tests for over 50 different types of cancer, including those that aren't usually screened for, like pancreatic cancer. Usually, when they catch pancreatic cancer, it's when it's terminal. This catches cancer very early. Insurance doesn't pay for it; it's very expensive. Symetra pays for the test. And customers receive, beginning day one, they receive a suite of concierge services. They get access to a health advocate to negotiate with their doctor how much the insured and their family pays for healthcare treatment. And they get access to 24-hour nurse support. Now that nurse hotline supports more than 60 different foreign languages, and they get access to free counseling support. So counseling, nurse, and the health advocate, all of those come built into the rider free of charge beginning day one for the client and their family to use whenever they need it, not just for cancer. Again, at age 50, they get access to the blood test. And then when they're diagnosed with cancer, they get access to the cash benefit. They pick the cash amount they want to add to the policy when they apply, 50, 100, or $200,000. Those are the different cash buckets they can purchase. Okay. We have found that there are a lot of clients who are very interested in a rider like this. They have seen the cost of cancer on family members or friends, and they want to maximize the value of the policy and not rob or take from the death benefit to cover that significant cost of cancer. The Cancer Care Compass benefit allows them to do it. And finally, the last living benefit I want to talk about is our charitable giving rider. So we make a donation to the client's charity of choice at their passing, equal to 1% of the death benefit. It doesn't cost the client anything. It doesn't cost their family anything. We will just pay it out to their charity. So if the client had $1 million, we would make a donation to the charity equal to 10,000, and the family still receives $1 million of death benefit. This again, all of these living benefits are on just our IULs. Questions about our living benefits before we move to underwriting? When it comes to underwriting, again, we've got three key solutions. So our traditional underwriting, this is for those customers who have health challenges. Uh, our traditional underwriting is very, very strong. I know there are some companies, that seem to have a really small box of clients they'll take. If you have a diabetes or hepatitis, sometimes mental health concerns. Other companies may decline those clients. We will likely approve them. We have very strong underwriting for clients that have a messier health history. For clients who are in good health, who have let's say they're in great health, they're young, they're under 60, we have our Swift underwriting. This is a platform that helps you get coverage done fast. Swift underwriting puts a policy in force in 15 minutes or less. Not just approved. This is approved, issued, delivered, and in force in under 15 minutes. It's a very, very quick turnaround process. Clients can still get best class rates, so super preferred. They have access to our best pricing, both for Swift Term and Swift Protector IUL. And it is a process that saves you time. The application is very short, and then everything else happens automatically with the customer. And actually, the best way to walk through the process is just to look at this quick case study. So this was an application that was done by an agent we were working with last fall. This is a business owner. I know a number of us work with business owners. This business owner needed $3 million of life insurance coverage because she was borrowing money from the Small Business Administration, and they needed the life insurance as collateral to secure the loan. The agent applied for $3 million of Swift term, 20 years. The application was submitted at 6:07 Eastern Time. The agent, logged into iGo and submitted what we call the drop ticket. That generates an email directly to the client. Mina, the client, received that email and in the next 16 minutes answered some basic questions. She told us about her personal history, lifestyle, her employment history, and her health history on her mobile phone, actually. It's optimized for mobile phone. When she submitted that application, she received a notification that said, "Congratulations, you're approved." She was approved at super preferred rates. And 5 minutes later, the policy was in force. It was immediately issued and delivered to her email box. She logged in, linked her bank account with the policy, and put it in force at 6:28 p.m. This was $3 million of coverage in force in 21 minutes, less than $200 per month in premium. This is an excellent platform. And even though it's fast, the thing I love about this is what you see right here, these numbers. How many underwriters and case managers work after 5 p.m. Eastern Time? Hardly nobody. Swift works when you work. Last year, we had at least 10 Swift policies submitted and placed in force every weekend and every holiday. We had people on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, at least 10 each of those days, purchasing coverage. This system will help you help more people. And not just business owners. And I'll tell y'all right now, if you know business owners, I would encourage you to reach out to them and let them know, hey, we've got a solution that helps you get coverage really quickly in 15 minutes or less. Often, when we work with business owners, they need insurance in force to secure loans they may be taking out to fund their business operations. If you don't already have insurance, it may be good to get some insurance now. Or if you're going to borrow money, make sure I'm your first call because we can get it done quickly. And I'd love to talk to any of your friends who are business owners and share with them that same message. Also, I think there's an opportunity here as we're building our teams to appeal to P&C agents or folks who sell Medicare supplements or benefits brokers. These professionals are life licensed. but very few of them sell life insurance because the process is hard. We can show them an easier way. You can go to that PNC agent and say, if I could show you a way to add another line of revenue to your business for very little time, and really 5 minutes that you or your customer service rep would take talking with the client, and then the system takes care of everything else, even delivering the policy directly to your client and putting in force. You don't have to worry about that. It's simple, it's easy. It's like the personalized business or group benefits that you normally do. If I could show you a way to do that, would you be interested in talking about a business opportunity with me? So, a way to build and bring on licensed professionals to our teams and accelerate our business and the number of people that we're helping. And because it's digital, it helps us work with young folks. I see here we've got some younger folks here on this call. I know that you have friends who never want to sit down face to face, and they would prefer to do business just by chat or just by text. Swift is a great platform for them. If they just want a digital experience, it is excellent. Swift is both for our term and our protector IUL. Notice that there are limits in age. We won't insure beyond age 60 and death benefit. So you only get $3 million or less of protector and $5 million or less of Swift term. Now, the bad news. Swift term doesn't support the commission advance annualization. So term will pay as earned. Protector, you'll still get all the commission when the policy goes in force. But with Swift term, if the client's paying a monthly premium, you're going to receive a monthly commission. We are fixing this, but it will still probably take several more months. However, our Swift term pricing is excellent. And the experience for the customer in both Swift Term and Swift Protector is the industry gold standard. No other company is able to turn around policies as quickly and as efficiently as Symetra through our Swift underwriting. Finally, last underwriting platform, last underwriting option is our foreign national program. So this is totally different from Swift. This is a way to again open up a new market. I'm confident that some of you have relationships with folks who live overseas. Someone had Thai back on a banner behind their head. They're gone now from my view. But this is a way. If let's say we had, Thai. Citizens of Thailand, right? So Thai citizens who have no social security number, but occasionally they travel to the United States. Let's say they've got a child who lives here in the US, uh, and they come and visit the child every year or two. Um, as long as they check the three boxes here on the left side of the screen, you can offer them coverage with Symetra the next time they come here to the United States. They do not need a social. And you can designate a third party to receive the life insurance policy on their behalf so they don't even have to be here when you deliver the contract. This is a simple turnkey process to help those foreign national clients buy U.S. coverage. And our insurance market is better than anywhere else in the world. Most countries don't have index products, and their policies are very expensive, and insurance companies are unreliable. But because insurance companies in the United States are so regulated, they're very safe. They're a safe place to put money. And Symetra products are also very strong. So let's talk about those three criteria. Number one, the client has to have a valid visa. It can be any type of visa. All right. It can be student, business, B1, B2, H1B, L1, K1, F1. It just doesn't matter. Anything but a U class visa. A U class visa is when they the the individual turns state's evidence against organized crime in their home country and immigrates to the United States. We won't accept them because there's a high risk that organized crime is going to find them here and whack them. So we don't like U-class visas, but everything else is great. As long as they have the visa, yeah, I saw the comment in the chat. They have to come here. to take the application. You cannot sell it to them when they're in their home country. So they need that visa to travel here to complete the application and do an exam. There is no accelerated or swift process for foreign nationals. They have to do an exam because all of the other reporting that we usually pull for domestic clients, like the motor vehicle report and the MIB and the prescription drug database, that doesn't exist for a foreign national client. So we have to have an exam to get a better understanding of their health history. Number two, they have to have a net worth of at least $1 million. The money can be anywhere in the world in any type of asset. So it can be in the bank, but it could also be in property, right? They could own a home or two in their home country. Let me be really clear. We do not require evidence of their net worth until they apply for more than $3 million of coverage. Our minimum death benefit is 1 million. So from 1 million to and including 3 million of coverage, no evidence of their net worth. They tell us what it is and we take their word for it. Everybody understand what I'm saying when I say it that way? All right. And then finally, they need one connection to the United States. All right. And that one connection can be any of these that you see here on your screen. So they could own property in the United States. They could have a business in the US. They could work for a US company. But most foreign nationals check one of these last three boxes. They have family living here, right? And that's immediate family, parents, children, brothers, sisters. So cousins, nieces, nephews, those don't count. We're talking, base shop, right? Or travel to the United States. So if they have been to the U.S. at least once before, they're going to travel here again to take the application. That makes two instances of travel, which we would consider regular U.S. travel, and they have their connection. They don't need family here or any other property or anything else. And finally, bank account. So if they have never traveled here, they have no family here, no other connection, then when they come to complete the application and do an exam, they would need to open a U.S. bank account and put $25,000 in it. That will be their connection. It says down here in the small print, the connection has to be, the account has to be at least 30 days old. But it doesn't have to be 30 days old when they apply, just when the policy is approved. Foreign national cases usually take about 3 weeks to approve. So we'll get through the underwriting process, and a week or so later, that bank account will have reached the 30-day minimum seasoning requirement and will formalize the approval and issue the policy. It is very, very easy for foreign nationals to do business with us. I see we've got some comments in the chat. There's a comment about Puerto Rico. So yes, this is Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. So we don't have product in Puerto Rico. They would need to travel to the States, like let's say fly to Florida and apply for coverage. Then they could buy a policy with us. Uh, so that would not apply for foreign nationals. I saw a question about ITIN. That is the one group of clients that we don't cover. So a domestic client at Symetra is defined as someone with a green card or U.S. citizenship and presence in the United States for at least 9 months in the last year. Anything else is foreign national. So if you've got a green card holder who lives, let's say, 6 months of the year in the Philippines and then 6 months of the year here in the States, they're foreign national because they don't meet that second criterion, right? They haven't spent 9 months of the last 12 here in the US. If you have a visa holder that traveled here 20 years ago, right? Overstayed their visa expired, but now they have work authorization and EAD and ITIN. They're also foreign national, but we're only going to consider them if they check these three boxes. And with an I-10, right, they don't have, generally speaking, they don't have that valid U.S. visa. So unfortunately, we would not be able to underwrite them. We are looking for foreign national clients who are only here temporarily. They are citizens and likely long-term permanent residents of other countries with or without a social security number who occasionally travel here for business or pleasure. That's our target market. All right. Those of you who, on this call may be thinking to yourself, I don't know any foreign nationals. This is also a great building opportunity because I guarantee you there are folks in your communities who do have that market. Real estate agents, PNC offices, attorneys who specialize in immigration, and especially EB-5 visas. These are all great business partners. We reach out to them. We talk to them about how we have this program that allows us to offer coverage to their international clients the next time they travel to the United States. A great way to partner with them, to bring them into our business, and to educate and provide solutions to their international clients. These are, because the minimum death benefit is $1 million, these are large case opportunities. We're talking 5 or 6 figure premium cases, adding, two or three of these policies a year will accelerate, how quick you're hitting those diamonds, right? So great opportunity to really accelerate your business as well. Any other questions about foreign national before I move on to some information about our products?
Hey, yes, Nate. The connection just check one of the boxes, right, Nate? It's either like one,
Just one.
you have travel US is one. Okay,
Just
right,
one.
thanks.
Yeah. If they, so let's say they have a child going to school here, right? So they have that immediate family box checked. They will still need to pay their premium somehow. We will accept premium from any U.S. bank, whether the branch is in the United States or in their home country. So let's say, they're in, let's say they live in Bangkok, right? And they have an account with Citibank. Uh, they can wire us funds directly from that city account overseas, and we'll accept it. We can't draft from the account, but they can wire the money directly to us. They don't need to open up an account here in the United States to pay the premium. We will again accept premium from foreign branches of U.S. banks. And the banks that we usually see are Wells Fargo, Chase Bank, Citibank, and Bank of America. Those are the four we typically see with international branches. Great question. Anything else?
Hello.
Yeah.
What about students who lives here? They have no SSN or IT number, but they have bank accounts. Are they eligible for this?
Oh, uh, so as long as, remember, our minimum issue age is 20. So as long as they're 20 or older, they could apply. I understand, right, that they may not have assets in their name, but their family likely has those assets. And who's to say, maybe the family gifted or transferred one of those assets into their name. That's always a possibility, right? Because we don't ask for evidence of net worth until they apply for more than 3 million of coverage. But they will have to qualify. They will have to check these three boxes. So they're here on a student visa, check the first box. They have that connection because they're living here, check the third box. It's just that net worth, right, that we will need to be cognizant of and be able to explain to the underwriter. Okay. Really, the opportunity in my mind is not on the student, but their parents. often the parents have, they may have purchased a home for their child to live in here in the States. And that home purchase creates a tax liability. Let's say the home is worth $1 million. Okay. Uh, they bought something up in Seattle, let's say, and their child is going to UW. Um, if the parent passes away, still holding that asset, a 40% estate tax will be applied to that asset. The family will have to pay about $380,000, about $370,000 within 9 months of the insured, or excuse me, of the individual passing away to pay the estate tax bill on that U.S. based property. So most foreign nationals purchase coverage to cover those estate taxes and then also to establish some additional wealth in the United States in case their child decides to stay here, to permanently immigrate to the United States. They'll buy the coverage to create some US based wealth to help the kids out. So really the market on students is the parents rather than the students themselves. A great question.
Thank you.
Let's talk our last number, 0. Jerry, what's your question?
Hey Nate, how you doing? You said something. You said one particular word that triggered a thought in my mind, a question that I've had. I've had several potential clients ask me if they can pay their premiums with a credit card. I think they want the points or whatever. But as far as in my experience so far, none of the companies do allow premium payments with credit cards, except for Gerber. That's the only one that I've ever dealt with where they do accept credit cards. And you mentioned your foreign nationals using their Citi card, and I thought about my Citi card, my Citi credit card. Do you accept credit cards for premium payments?
But I'm glad you're asking that. So, for foreign nationals, they could pay with a Citi bank account, but not a Citi card. The only times we accept credit card are for Swift term up to $500,000 of death benefit, and we'll accept all premiums every year. So your $500,000 and lower Swift term cases, you can pay via credit card every day of the week and twice on Sunday. For Swift Protector, we will accept the initial premium only on credit card as long as it's $2,000 or less. So that could be an annual premium, it could be a monthly premium, but the limit on Swift Protector is 200,000, just the first premium. Swift Term, all premiums for death benefits 500,000 and less. Okay?
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, great question. And you're right. You got a lot of clients who like the points, right? Hey, we need to add some additional term coverage. Great. We add a layer of Swift term, 500,000. It's going to be a quick experience for the client. Very easy to get the coverage in force. And then, pay an annual premium at that point, right? Get all the points up front. You don't have to worry, but once a year paying the premium and you as the agent will get all the commission paid up front also. All right. So let's talk our products. So again, we've got two IULs, right? Our accumulator and our protector. Our accumulator is all about maximum tax-free income. This does it through two key features. Number one, our low charges. I want you all to look the far right of this screen. You'll see this column that says 20-year cumulative charges. This is a 55-year-old contributing $100,000 a year for 5 years. These are the kinds of policies that Lena is doing down there in Southern California. I realize we don't all have clients who are paying $100,000 a year, but for a client who's paying $2,000 a year, they want the best deal for their money, right? And that's what we give them in terms of charges. Our fees are ultra low. In this example, we're the second lowest in the industry, but most of these providers, these companies, aren't on the FFS platform. What you will find with Symetra is our charges are decidedly lower than the other companies that you all are doing business with, and those low charges make for much better long-term cash accumulation, which results in much higher tax-free income when they retire. And that's again what you see here, right? A very strong income. And you look at some of these other options with higher charges, right? Income much lower than what Symetra can offer. It's a great, great story. Low charges, great growth potential. Our protector IUL, this is different. And this is, I don't know honestly how often we're having this conversation, but I guarantee you that every single person on this call knows someone, if not multiple someones, who are in their 50s or 60s. These are, our annuity clients, right? We're having the annuity conversation. But most of these folks also have money they want to leave behind as a legacy. They have, and that money is usually sitting in the bank doing nothing. We call it lazy money. These clients are holding on to this money and they're protecting it because they want to make sure their kids or grandkids get that inheritance. We need to ask those clients a key question. Well, we need to ask them first, are you planning on leaving a legacy? Do you have money right now that's set aside to leave that legacy behind? That answer is yes. We have to ask those customers, are you happy with the return you're seeing on that money? If that answer is no, or really if it's yes, honestly, it doesn't matter. Regardless of how they respond, what we then need to say to them is, if I could show you a strategy to quadruple or quintuple the value of those dollars immediately today, that'll pass tax-free and probate-free to your beneficiaries, would that interest you? And if that answer is yes, that's a Symetra Protector IUL client. We could take $50,000 on a 58-year-old and turn it into $300,000 of inheritance with built-in living benefits, with additional living benefits that can be added, with some cash accumulation, but most importantly, that $300,000 of tax-free wealth that we pass on to that next generation, creating that intergenerational wealth mechanism that really, for me, that drives a lot of my passion in the business, right? We want to make sure that the next generation is better off than the current generation. And most people feel that that's not going to happen anymore. This is a strategy to help make that happen for clients. And it's one we got to be talking about with every single customer in their 50s or older. Are you looking to leave a legacy? Are you happy with the return you're receiving on that money? If I could show you a strategy to, quadruple or quintuple the value of that legacy, would that be of interest to you? Great opportunity to generate additional activity and help more people. So our IULs have lots of different index options, and unfortunately, we don't have time today to dig into all those details. So I'll just leave you with, we've got 2 index strategies with a cap and 6 with no cap. And we have one in particular that we find agents are really, really interested in, and that's our allocation index, or AI. This is a strategy that changes the allocation as markets change. When our customers buy a policy and they take it home, what do they do with it? Nothing. They put it in a filing cabinet and they never look at it again. That's fine, if you're buying term insurance, but if you have a policy with an investment component and the markets change, which they always do, we want to make sure that their allocation changes to meet the market. That's what AI does. When the market is steadily growing, customers automatically go to uncapped S&P 500. When the market starts to get really volatile, like right now, customer goes to the safety of this strategy with JP Morgan that has 13 different asset classes: stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, other commodities, inflation protected bonds. It's a great hedge against volatile markets, also uncapped with a participation rate of 150%. And that change happens automatically. Could be a year from now, could be 4 years from now, could be 10 years from now. We don't know. No one's good at timing the market, and most people are not managing their policy to market changes. This is a set it and forget it solution that maximizes the client's return. Last year, we had policies allocated to AI, they were seeing a 20, 22. November was a 27% return. This is a great growth engine in an IUL at no additional cost for the client. Most of our policyholders are allocating 50% to the allocation index, and then they're putting 50% into either S&P or NASDAQ. I like NASDAQ because it's seen better returns historically than the S&P 500. But don't forget about our fixed account. Our fixed rate is 5.25. So if you do have more conservative clients who are a little concerned about the markets, right now with the volatility and some concern about tariffs, our fixed account rate is very, very strong. So I want to make sure everybody knows where to find our individual resources. Okay, we'll come back to this slide. You can see everything here in a moment, but this chat, this toolbar is in my way. Here you go. So you can find all of our information on our FFS dedicated website. All right, I'm going to drop that URL here in the chat. This is your one-stop shop for Symetra. So this is where you go to get appointed. You can see how to navigate our agent portal right here with this guide. You'll see all of our product and rider information right here under product portfolio. This is where you go to run illustrations. You see a Symetra Life Illustrator down here. You don't need an appointment to run an illustration. If I click Illustrator, this takes me right to the illustration software, and I can run numbers with our accumulator, with our protector, with term. It's all there for you to access. Okay, and then no, I moved this window again, and then. Let's go back to that page. You can also find links to our Foreign National program down here at the bottom and the IGO application. So you submit business also right here on the portal. If I click on this Submit IGO app, the first thing you will do is create an account. All right. First time you access this system, you want to make sure you click Create an Account. That will take you to a page where you'll give it your email address. It will send you an email. You'll designate a password. It will sign you a username, and you'll use the password, which is unfortunately long. But then you'll be able to log in and submit your business. It's a very simple process. Once you log in to submit a case, it's very simple and straightforward. Okay, that's where you access the software, where you access the IGO application. Are there any final questions about our products, about underwriting, about how to access Symetra tools and resources?
Yeah, Ned, can you run the just the for the IUL, just for the sample?
Sure.
Yeah, for example, for the IUL. So
I'd be happy to. Let me get back there.
yeah, I'm on my website too right now, but I don't know which one is.
Oh yeah, so you tell me, what kind of client would you like to illustrate?
So yeah, 45 years old with the IUL for the saving money like that you just show,
For cash accumulation? Okay, perfect. So the first thing you do when you run an illustration is we got to go here and add ourselves as a producer. All right. So I'm going to plug in my address really quickly here. And then save this to the case. We do this to make sure the illustration is fully compliant. Then we'll do We'll just, since I'm in Utah today, we'll stick with Utah. 45 years old. We'll say preferred non-smoker. Do we want to, Eddie, do we want to designate a death benefit?
Yeah, $1 million
Okay. We'll do $1 million. What kind of premium do we want to pay?
monthly.
Monthly, do we want to like pay the maximum premium? Is there a specific premium target we want to hit?
Just the focus that just the focus, that whenever the $1 million monthly payment. I mean, like I don't know, just like just run the number for $1 million, how much for the monthly.
Okay. Well, because you could pay a lot or a little with the $1 million policy. So I'll just run it at a level death benefit, paying the maximum premium. So we'll pay the maximum level non-mech to age 65. All right.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then here I'm going to change our allocation. We'll put 50% in the allocation index and then 50% in the NASDAQ. And then I'll calculate. And so you'll see for $1 million, let me zoom in on this here. For $1 million, we've got about $1,800 a month. This is the maximum premium, right? About $1,800 a month. Pay 265. This premium is just a little less than Target here, right? Target is about 22,000. In this case, we're paying 21, about 600. And then you see, right, cash accumulation at 65. Client could pay more than this, right? They could go up to $75,000 a year if they wanted to, but that's just a basic illustration.
I got you. Thank you so much. I got you.
Yeah.
Mr. Nat,
Ah.
can you go back to the all location, please?
Yes.
So you should all location and 50% on the S&P 500.
I put 50% on the NASDAQ with an 11.5% cap, and then 50% on this allocation index strategy, which gives them uncapped S&P when the market is steadily growing, and then JP Morgan with 150% participation rate when the market is really volatile. Okay.
Okay, right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, if you want to run the strongest illustration, then yeah, that's really based on these max rates here, right? So you'd want to go with a strategy that has the highest return. So if I wanted to run the strongest illustration, I could put everything in NASDAQ and run that, and that will give me better performance. So at 65, this is giving us I think it was an extra $40,000 or $45,000 of cash value. So I'll give you a little better performance, right? But for customers' long-term growth potential, I like that 50-50 division between the two strategies. Any other questions about the product illustrations?
No, I'm good, because I know how to run the term, right? And I'm did by
Yeah,
myself.
term is pretty easy.
$1 million is really quick, easy and approved. So, I really love it. But, the IUL, I never running. But today I might buy for myself. So I already, so thank you. Thank you so much. You guys have any
Yeah.
question?
So as we're waiting for maybe people to formulate a question or two, here again is our contact information. So I've got a team. We have a team of 3 supporting your business. Myself, James Lau. He's in Southern California, but he and I both cover the country. So feel free to reach out to either one of us or Nadine Russo. She's our internal. She's in the office a little more frequently than we are. I happen to not be traveling this week, right? But Eddie, when you and I spoke, I think, in Arizona. The last week I was in Florida and Illinois. I'm all over the place all the time, usually in meetings like this. So feel free to call or text or email. But if you have a really urgent need, Nadine is probably the best first person to call during business hours. Okay. Super. I mean, if there aren't any other questions, I really appreciate everybody's time and the questions. I know we talked about a lot, but I want to go back to really that one key word, innovation. I hope you've seen how some of our innovations can help you do business. Swift is an excellent innovation. You know, simple, quick term. Our Protector IUL is also on that platform. Simple, quick coverage. Our living benefits. We don't have the exhaustive number of living benefits that let's say National Life does, but we have some key differences, right? Our benefits are client controlled. We maximize the value of the living benefits they do have in a policy with much lower fees, which means those clients whose goal is ultimately cash growth and the maximum tax-free retirement, you won't find a better partner or better product solution than our accumulator IUL. And when it comes to those index strategies, I tell you that allocation index for what the customer gets for no cost to have an automatic switch to uncapped S&P, that is a game changer for those clients, again, looking for maximum growth. I know, having started where you all are, how challenging it is to get a customer to call you back to do an annual review, right? Usually they buy a policy and you never talk to them again. Allocation index makes sure that their long-term growth objectives are better met. So I know you got a lot of great choices. We strongly believe there's a place for Symetra within your team and the business that you're doing. We want to help you out. Give us a call. Let us know how we can help on that next case. If you have questions about the illustration or IGO, please reach out. We want to help. So again, appreciate everybody's time. Everybody have an excellent, excellent evening. Hope to talk to you all soon.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Okay, let's do screenshot. Any questions? Eddie, you mute.
All right. You can hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes, I hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so make sure that whoever record the video, make sure this is for the producer use only. So we not run launch on the public. So yeah, hopefully you guys learn and get more information from him. All right, P. Jack, you want to add something or you?
Just try to compare and run the number. Of course, the National Life is the leader, but Symetra, my microphone is no good. But anyway, try, compare, see what fits the client, okay?
All right, guys. So yeah, if you guys have a question about run the illustration, call me or call Jack. If you're not comfortable, I can practice more and how to run the illustration. And then let's see.
Okay, let's take screenshot and picture and then good night for the day. And there's more to come. I haven't ran into it yet, but I believe I have seen many competitors start using Symetra, so it's must be something very well about it. Okay. All right, let's take picture and then say good night. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Good. Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Good night, ครับ สวัสดีครับ
ค่ะ